What's going on, guys? Coach Joe here from Strong Fitness, and in this video we're going to be taking a close look at the half Turkish Get Up. Now, the way I like to do it is I teach my clients the first half and we own that part of the Turkish Get Up, and then we'll tackle the second half. So the scope of this video is just to get us from laying flat on our back all the way up to the tall sit. So the first half, or the one half Turkish Get Up. So the first thing we want to keep in mind with the Turkish Get Up is that we need an appropriately sized belt. Today during the tutorial I'll be using a 35-pound belt, which is a really good starting place for most men. Women are going to want to go down to about a 15 or 12-pound kettlebell, and then gradually increase the weight as you start to get stronger and more comfortable with it. But my biggest advice: start low with your weight and go slow with this movement. It's not about going fast, it's about going slow and owning each phase of the movement. Okay, so the first thing we want to do with the Turkish Get Up here is we want to get set up. So I've got my appropriately sized kettlebell over here to the right. I'm going to lay down nice and flat. I'm going to have my knees bent, my feet about hip width apart. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to roll my entire body over towards the kettlebell. My right hand is going to be the first hand. It's going to insert itself in all the way through, so I can have a nice straight boxer's wrist. And I got a good grasp on the bell right around the bridge. Next thing to do is my left hand is going to cover over that right hand, and both are going to pull that bell in nice and close to the chest. And I'm going to roll myself all the way over, nice and flat. Make sure my feet are situated again. Both hands are going to press that bell up towards the sky. Once I've ensured that that right arm is nice and strong and that shoulder is packed in nice and tight, my left hand will let go. I'll go down to the floor, palm facing the ground, about 45 degrees out from the spine. My right leg is going to stay bent. I'm going to extend my left leg out. So the opposite leg of the side that has the belt, that leg will extend out. Your right one will stay bent, but we're going to shift that foot out about 45 degrees. Now, once we're here in position, we're ready to go. Our first movement is not going to be up, but rather to the side, over to the left. And I'm going to do that by driving my heel through the floor and doing a glute bridge, if you will, on that right side. Pressing that bell up towards the sky. Now I'm rolled over onto my left side. My right side has left the floor. From here, do a little bit of a side crunch, utilizing the obliques, keeping the bell up towards the sky and that shoulder packed strong. I'm also going to drive this elbow. It's almost as if I'm pulling this elbow through and coming up to the top. So think about pulling that elbow back, which will in turn pull your chest forward. Once we're here, I make sure that my shoulder is away from my ear, so we don't want to see this position. I want to pull that shoulder back, make sure that palm is flat against the floor. Now once I'm ready to go up to the tall sit, which is where we're going to end the half Turkish Get Up, I'm going to press this left hand into the floor, almost like a tricep press, pressing that floor away. Then I'm going to shift that hand back and externally rotate that arm just a bit. So that helps me keep my chest open, my shoulders away from the ear, my spine is stacked, my ribs are stacked over my hips, my core is tight. One of the other things we want to do in this position here is to extend out the left leg from the heel. So we pull our toes to the sky, we drive out with that left leg, we have that left leg nice and flat. The other key point is that right knee. Want to make sure that right knee doesn't cave in, but that it stays open and in line with the toes, the heel, and the hip. Sitting tall, looking up at the bell, and shoulders away from the ears. This is the top part of the half Turkish Get Up. Now we're going to make our way back down. So very carefully, we're going to shift that hand out and then make our way down to our elbow. Again, ensuring their shoulders away from the ear, core is nice and tight. A little bit of a reverse side crunch as we make our way down to our left side. Gently take ourselves back down to flat. Now, in order to return the bell back to the floor safely, I'm going to reverse the way that I set up. So I'm going to bring my feet back to where they were. Left hand reaches up, grabs the other hand, the right hand. Both will pull that bell in nice and close. My whole body will roll over to the right side. So there you go, guys, the half Turkish Get Up, broken down just a bit. The deal with the Turkish Get Up is it's not a fast movement, it's not a challenge, the speed of how we do it. It's to challenge and to gain strength and our movement patterns through it. So go slow, take your time, and make sure you keep in mind all of those cues that we talked about in the video. Thanks for watching, guys.